like, I love barbell training, I love kettlebell training. It's very cathartic, but there's something about taking on a stone. It makes you feel like you're a bit more connected to something, or a bit more alive.
This is no my plate, my plate, my plate. This is no my plate. Bonny though the colours be.
You know, I was doing my PT course and stuff like that. I was working as a graphic designer, and I was into kettlebells very heavily. Like, pretty much all my training was kettlebells, because it was in this garage actually, and I had that pull-up bar and that 24 kilo kettlebell over there, and that was all I had. And so I trained with those, and I was on a Strong First website, which is the kettlebell guys, Pavel's guys, and they had an article on stone lifting, and it was interesting because they had what the article mentioned, a stone called the Criccieth stone, I think I pronounced that right, in Wales, and the grass where that stone sits is across from the road from the pub where my old man used to drink when he was my age at that time. When I read about that stone and where it was in relation to, you know, the history behind it, the idea that this was the stone that all the men from that area went to lift. You know, you had to, the stone there is 180 kilos or 178 kilos when it's dry. It's North Wales, so it's never dry. And only one man has ever put it on his shoulder. But the idea was that if you couldn't at least put wind under it, you essentially weren't strong enough to be of any use to anyone.
Come on! Get it up! Come on! Right, hips! Come on, you got it on your knees, get it up! Get a good comfy position, get it up! Sit down again, recess! That's it, hipster, there you go! Split!
So from there, it just led me to reading into stone lifting and the history behind it, which ended up on James's blog, which was interesting because it was from an Australian perspective. So him and Luke Reynolds had a few posts on there about different stones around Australia, so about the Bink stones and is it the Freedom Stone, I think, the one up in the Blue Mountains, that was called, yeah, Freedom Stone, and the Dinny stones and stuff like that. And reading his stuff, and you know, I messaged James because just to ask him if he knew like anywhere I could go to sort of train. I went down to they're called Strength Haven now. They were called Cranbourne Iron, I think they were called at the time. Went down there because they had stones. They don't have them anymore. Tried to do some stone lifting. Had no idea what I was doing. Then I went to the Geelong Highland Games, and when I was down there, James was competing. Morgan was there as well. I had a chat to those guys, and I think Michael Pesker as well. I think that's where I met Michael. And James just said, look, one of the boys is going to be training for stone lifting for, he was doing Bunnadoon that year, the manhood stone. So, you know, we're going to be doing Sunday mornings for the next 10 weeks. If you want to join in, just turn up at 11 o'clock. The only rule is you have to turn up on time and respect the gear. Yeah, I spent the next 10 weeks lifting stones with James. At the end of the 10 weeks, I did my first strongman comp, which was good. And yeah, I sort of, from there, through James, got into the Highland Games as well, bit of throwing. Obviously met Josh when I went looking for a throws coach through Jason.
Box, set, go! Hey!
the way I do it too. Come on, drop, hands up. Set yourself. Drop the hips. Come on.
Deep breath.
You got time, you got time. Come on. Come on. Come on, you got this. Oh. Come on.
Come on, guys, here we go.
That's it. That's it. Get it.
Here we go.
Wash your hand underneath it. That's it. That's it. Here we go. Up, yes! Yes!
Like, I love barbell training, I love kettlebell training. It's very cathartic, but there's something about taking on a stone. It makes you feel like you're a bit more connected to something, or a bit more alive. And I think finding a stone, and you know, you get dirty, you get cut, you get hurt, but it's, you know, for most of your life, especially someone like me who was always quite small and everything, a stone is an immovable object that is in your way. And I think if you get to the point where you can move a stone, where you can move 130, 140 kilo, 100, bloody hell, imagine moving that 180 kilo stone.
Come on.
Come on. Get it up. Come on.
Good. Hips.
Come on, you got it on your knees. Get it up. Get a good comfy position. Get it up. Sit down again. Recess. That's it. Hips through. There you go.
Clear.